Good evening, this is BelGeode and we are back with some more Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition Vietnam era. Alright, before we begin, I'm going to address the white elephant in the room right off the bat. While this video is about the AH-1 Cobra that flew in Vietnam, the model that we're using is going to be Alpha Sim or Vertavia's AH-1W Super Cobra painted to look like Vietnam. Also, in this episode, I'm going to be showing off several different things, one of which is going to be Captain Sim's weapon for FSX. It is payware. I think it cost me like 10 or 15 bucks, something like that. But what it does is it will allow you to add the capability of firing weapons, usually air-to-air, but sometimes air-to-ground, whether it be guns. You can see I've got 750 rounds there. I've also got rocket capability. I've got 120 Hydra rockets on this Huey Cobra here. I could even fire missiles, and if I download the proper add-on, bombs. So we're going to be using that as part of this mission tonight. Speaking of our mission, we're going to be blowing up a train in North Vietnam that's headed towards the Mugia Pass. Alright, so we've got 3 waypoints here. We're going to be proceeding through to waypoint 3 where this suspected train location is. We've got some commandos that are going to assist us, and if you saw, we have the capability to use their vortex against them. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and program in 113.10, which should give us the vortex for Vinh. And that's the airport just north of that river that we're going to need to follow. So basically, we will use that to navigate our way inland, since, of course, we don't have GPS. And try to ignore the HUD that you're looking at there as well, because technically that would not have existed during the Vietnam era. Alright, now the other major thing that I want to show off with this helo, I also downloaded this thing called HTR, which stands for Helicopter Total Realism. You can get it from Hover Control. What this does is, the only way I can describe it, it makes your helicopters fly more like DCS World helicopters rather than FSX. It is phenomenal. So, with that having been said, let's go ahead and take off here. And hopefully my helicopter flying skills are going to be decent for this episode. We are taking off from the USS Tarawa right now, which is a helicopter landing ship. Again, this is not historically accurate. The Tarawa was not there in Vietnam launching Hueys. They had different ships doing stuff like that. But for the purposes of our episode, it'll work fine, besides which it's a beautiful ship and you all deserve to see it. Alright, so now that we are up... Oh, yeah, okay, now that beeping that you were hearing, that is from CS Weapons. Whenever you lock onto a target, it will automatically start making noise, especially if you're using Sidewinders, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with that. So right now, it appears to be locking on to that destroyer up ahead that's escorting the Tarawa. Okay, so we'll just pull off to the side there and that'll shut it up. Okay, so as you can see, my maneuvering is going to have to be on point today, because this thing will throw you all over the place. You can't get a better realistic flight dynamics add-on than HTR. And I hate to sound like a frickin' commercial, but it's true. This thing has won me over. So if you're a fan of helos like I am, yeah, you're going to want to get this. There's plenty of profiles out there, and I plan on working on some for some of the bigger helicopters as well. I hasten to add that HTR is completely free, so go ahead and go download it from hovercontrol.com. I also have a link below to an article written on helisimmer.com. Go check that article out. That's the article that convinced me to download HTR, so yeah, go ahead and read it, and I think you'll agree. Alright, now, let's go ahead and get some forward momentum going here, and we are going to follow our little HSI compass there in the center, and we're going to head towards North Vietnam. Now, I'm pretty sure the AAA is going to be lighting up the sky, so we got to be really careful here, because we're only a single ship. But let me take a few moments and tell you a bit of the history of the AH-1 Cobra while we're flying the AH-1W Super Cobra here. What we'll do is we'll start with the basics, the physical characteristics. So, as you know, it has a crew of 2, 1 pilot and 1 co-pilot slash gunner. It had a length of 53 feet, and that's with both rotors turning. Rotor diameter was 44 feet, height of 13 feet 6 inches, and it was powered by one Lycoming T53-L-13 turboshaft. The Cobra had a top speed of about 190 knots and a cruise speed of about 150 knots, which persists to this day. It's a little bit faster now with the Super Cobra model, but it's pretty much remained the same over the years. The Cobra had a range of about 310 nautical miles and a service ceiling of only 11,400 feet. But what this thing lacked in speed and altitude, it certainly made up for with armament. The bread and butter for this beast was the 3-barreled Gatling gun. This was a General Dynamics 20mm M197 Gatling gun. Now, it wasn't the original weapon that they had on this. I believe they had a 7.62mm multi-barrel minigun, as well as grenade launchers, 40mm grenade launchers. But once they finally upgraded to that Gatling gun, oh yeah, that made this sucker fierce. In addition to which, you could also fire rockets with this thing. As I've explained before with the Captain Sim weapon for FSX, we're going to be using the Hydra 70, which are 70mm rockets that would have been launched from this particular aircraft. We also have the capability of launching tow missiles, anti-tank missiles, usually 4 or 8 missiles mounted on either side. We don't have those in our arsenal today. An interesting little tidbit about the Super Cobra that the United States Marine Corps still uses today, they can also launch AIM-9 Sidewinders and Zuni rockets from this thing. Not to mention the famous Hellfire missile used throughout Desert Storm and subsequent conflicts. Alright, but let's get back to the origins of the Cobra. So this bad bird first took flight on September 7th, 1965, and it was originally designated as the Bell 209 model. Believe it or not, this thing actually had retractable skids when it was first designed, but of course they ditched that for the fixed skids that you see below. And it looks like we are just about on course. We should be pulling up to our river there. Alright, we're going to continue our story while we're doing this. It was developed out of the very popular Bell UH-1 Iroquois, affectionately known as the Huey. So that's how this one got the name Huey Cobra. Now, the Cobra was considered the backbone of the United States Army's attack helicopter fleet since its introduction in 1967, but it was replaced eventually by the AH-64 Apache in Army service. Now, the Marines are still holding strong to this helo. Hoorah! So here in Vietnam, the main role for the Huey Cobra was going to be escort. They would escort basically all of the helicopter fleets that were trying to get troops inland or, closer to the battle. But in addition to it, they also formed hunter-killer teams. Now, originally I wanted to have an AI flight here, but it's a pain in the ass to try and get a helo as AI in FSX. Dovetail, fix that, please. Alright, and here we are at the Lamb River, by the way. So this is the river that we're going to need to take to get to Vin, which you can see in the distance there. But yeah, as hunter-killers, these guys would basically seek out enemy targets and wipe them out, essentially. Needless to say, Charlie hated this helo. It's really hard to say exactly how many kills between the Army and the Marine Corps this helicopter got during the Vietnam War, but I can tell you that this thing racked up over 1 million operational hours in Vietnam. The number of Cobras in service peaked at about 1,081. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of snakes in the sky. Now, even though our mission here is fictitious, you can bet your sweet bippy that Huey Cobras in Nam probably had to do stuff like this. Hunter-killer squads teaming up with the OH-6A Scout helicopters would oftentimes go after armor columns and hideouts, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they did trains as well too. Speaking of which, it looks like the NVA has a welcoming party out for us right there on that bridge. Now, just to forewarn you, CS weapons will not destroy vehicles and static targets, but we're gonna have some fun anyway. Sorry for the jump cut there, but my first salvo caused the sim to pause for a second there. Looks like we got some BTR-70s on that bridge. Good hits on target. Okay, so they are not shooting back at me, so I'm just going to keep on going. Although, truth be told, if I would have been hitting them with hydro rockets, it probably didn't do a damn thing except maybe chip their paint. I probably would want to use Hellfire missiles against a target like that. But, be that as it may, we are in downtown Vin, and it looks like we got the sound of SAMs and AAAs. Alright, let's switch to guns for a second here. We got 750 rounds up front. So, we're going to see if we can locate this bridge that was on that map that I showed you earlier. There should be a second train on that bridge, but I'm not going to waste time attacking that sucker because there's only one railway leading south into the Ho Chi Minh Trail. So as long as we jam it up somewhere along the line, that train ain't going anywhere. So we are going to use it as our marker though, so I'm going to see if I can find it here. I am looking around and I see a lot of AAA coming up here. Holy shit, are those SAMs or are those tracers? I can't even tell. Whatever it is, it does not look friendly, but this helicopter can take a licking and keep on kicking, so we are going to progress ever onward. And that brings to mind a good point, actually. We only lost about 300 of these helicopters out of 1,081 in Vietnam. Now bear in mind, that certainly doesn't diminish the loss of life that happened as a result of losing those helicopters, but it does kind of speak to, you know, how popular and how tough and resilient this helicopter was during Vietnam for both the Army and the Marine Corps. It should also be mentioned that other countries use this as well: Israel, Japan, Jordan, Turkey, Pakistan. And as far as America goes, the U.S. Forest Service now uses some of the retired AH-1Fs from the U.S. Army as firefighting Cobras. They call them fire snakes, which I thought was pretty cute. Alright, we are getting ever closer to the bridge. I think we need to make a left here at that fork in the river, if I'm not too mistaken. If you look at my little HSI in the center, it's still pointing towards that Vin Vortac, which is somewhere over there. Vin Airport's over there. I'm pretty sure they've got a bunch of MiG-21s and so on sitting there, but I don't think they're going to be a factor. Also, I don't think they're going to want to launch with all this AAA going all over the place. Wow, speaking of which, it's starting to get a little bit fierce the closer I get to this bridge. Something tells me this thing is heavily guarded. Not looking forward to that at all. Interesting little side note to this helicopter. When it was originally designed in the late 50s, when Bell was investigating helicopter gunships, they actually named this thing the Iroquois Warrior. So they were going to stick with the whole Iroquois thing, which, don't get me wrong, I think that is an excellent name for a helicopter, and, you know, it definitely gives some honor to Native Americans. But they decided on the Huey Cobra once this thing actually went into production. And, of course, the whole reason why it even came about in the first place was, holy hell! Hold that thought. Dang, we got tracers coming at us here. Okay, I think we're gonna just hang a left here. Wow, I was not expecting that. I don't even know if it will do damage to the helicopter. I don't think it would, because I am in free flight here in FSX, so traditionally free flight, you can't really get shot down, but I'm not sure I want to take that chance. But anyway, as I was saying, the reason why they decided to go with the Huey Cobra was because the new tactics that the U.S. Army were using to actually fight the war in Vietnam left their Hueys very vulnerable. Imagine trying to get into a hot LZ and you've got like all kinds of fire coming from all over the place. So that's why this helicopter was created. Alright, directly ahead is our train, so we're going to shoot it up a bit here. Up. Not like that. We're going to miss. Okay, there we go. I think we got some hits there. Of course, it's not registering as a target, so that's fine. But I'm going to see if I can put some of this AAA out of its misery here. So, let's see if we can find where that shot came from. There we go. I think I got something there, but that's alright. I'm going to swing around this way. We'll avoid fire. And again, this is HTR at its best. I love the way this thing flies. It's just incredible. Alright, there is what appears to be a radar unit. They're probably controlling SAMs and so on, so let's see if we can take it out real quick. Guns, guns, guns. Good hits on target. Okay, we're going to assume that one has been taken out, and I thought I saw a railway off to my right here, so whoa, look at that tracer coming past me. Holy crap. Alright, there's our railway track, so we're just going to go ahead and follow this sucker, and I'm going to kick this into high gear. Now remember when I said HTR adds a bit of realism to this thing? That realism will also include speed, like VNE speeds. The VNE speed on this particular helicopter is roughly around 178 knots at low level. And I just switched it back to rockets, by the way, because we're going to need that with that train. So yeah, we're going to want to stay below 180 knots here, otherwise that could have dire consequences for this helicopter. I'll tell you a funny story about this helicopter. On the 12th of September 1968, Captain Ronald Fogelman was flying an F-100 Super Sabre when the aircraft was shot down and he ejected 200 miles north of Bien Hoa. Fogelman became the only pilot to ever be rescued by holding on to an Army AH-1G's deployed gun panel door. So this dude was hanging on to the side of the chopper the entire way back. He was rescued by a Huey Cobra. Alright, so as we make our way down the line, we should be hearing from Voodoo 1 relatively soon. Their job is basically to put some bombs on the train tracks and disable the locomotive. We're going to go in there, we're going to use our hydro rockets, and we're going to take care of the rest of the train here to ensure that these supplies never make it to the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Now, I don't know which direction this train is going, but hey, orders are orders. We got to blow this sucker up, so it doesn't matter if it's going back to Vin for more supplies. We're taking it down.
Snake 1, this is Voodoo 1. Bombs have been detonated. Locomotive is disabled. You are cleared hot. I say again, you are cleared hot. We are retreating into the jungle.
Speak of the devil. Copy that, Voodoo 1. Snake 1, I'm inbound.
Be advised, Snake 1. NVA's got plenty of AAA over here, so make sure you're keeping your heads down. Voodoo 1 out.
Copy that, Voodoo 1. Snake 1 out. Alright, well, you heard the guy. We got AAA over there, and I think I can see a plume of smoke right now. Time to get to work. Okay, should be just over this bridge. As you can see, the railway tracks are just off to our right there. Hydras are already queued up, so we're just going to follow the tracks in, and we should be able to get a clear shot. Holy crap, is that flak? I think that is flak. Oh, great. This is going to be fun. Alright. Well, no time like the present, so we're going to hold it together, and I'm sure my gunner has got like the best seat in the house, unless of course there's any bullets coming up at us. And there's our train. Alright, now I don't know how many passes we're going to need to make on this thing, but let's just see if we can launch all these damn rockets. We got 120 of them to spare, so we should be good. Alright, it's time. Rifle! I don't even know if you shout rifle for these rockets, but I'm going to do it anyway. Rifle! Love it. Woo! Look at that sucker going up like a blaze of glory. Happy 4th of July to you, Charlie. Alright, whoa. And we do have a lot of flak, and I'm seeing muzzle flashes on the ground here. Oh, this is not looking pretty. And we're in the middle of a freaking swamp, too, so I do not want to crash in that. Alright, so we're going to be jinking left and right here. Oh boy. What did I sign myself up for here, folks? Just think. In Vietnam, this is the kind of crazy stuff that the Huey Cobra had to do. Wow. Alright, let me see if I can launch some rockets over here. And we got some rockets for you too. Let's see. Okay, well, we're pretty much lined up, so let's go ahead and do our attack run again. That was a crappy shot. I hit the bridge, though. Boom, boom. That was sweet. Alright, that was sweet. I like that. Okay, so let's egress from the target. We'll go around that hill up ahead over to the right, and then we'll come back down the tracks the other way. Now just remember that since this is FSX, the target won't actually be totally destroyed. Eventually I do plan on getting things like TAC Pack and whatnot, but I'm kind of liking this Captain Sim weapon, so I'm going to stick with that for now. Not only that, but I also heard that if you use CCP, which is the Carrier and Convoy Placement tool, that will also include things that will allow you to blow up static targets. So I might have to reinstall that. I did download it, but I couldn't figure it out, so I'm going to have to take some time and do that. Alright, but there's our choo-choo train. And man, look at all the smoke coming up off of that sucker. Woohoo! Okay, this one's for the title shot here. And there we go. No, that was a horrible shot. Crap. Ah, there we go. Looks like we got some direct hits on target. Nice! Nice! Couple more should do the trick. And I'm firing these in salvos of 4, which you can set up with the XML file that would be added to your aircraft. Alright, we still got a bunch of people shooting at us from this swamp here, so yeah, I'm just going to start launching rockets everywhere. I got a bunch of them, you know, I can spare it. Okay, we'll egress from target. Holy crap, look at that flak! Damn, that is nuts. I don't mind saying, folks, that is freaking nuts. Good thing I didn't come through here with a fast mover. Actually, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should have come through here with a fast mover. Wow, that's just craziness. Alright, well, let's go ahead and see if we can get back in there before they start getting a beat on us. Okay, there's our train tracks. I know there was AAA up on this hill here, so I might have to launch something. Well, they're not shooting at me. Okay, so we're going to go after them. And a couple more shots on this train ought to do the trick. Oh, that was right under the bridge. Holy crap, where was I shooting with that one? Damn. Okay, come on, baby. To the left, to the left. HTR at work. Because of the wind, yeah, we're going all over the place here. Actually, there's not much wind, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Alright, we'll go around here. We'll do a couple more runs before we egress for good here. Since obviously we're not going to take damage because this is after all FSX and I am in free flight, but it just looks so cool to put ourselves in harm's way. Not that I would advocate that. War is a horrible thing, folks, but yeah, for the purposes of this particular video, we can do that. Alright, let's get crazy here. I need to do a 180, so I'm going to pull up, 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 way up. I'm not going to go over the top. This is not the right place to do that, but I am going to do a hammerhead, somewhat. I think I pulled that off rather well. Okay, let's get some airspeed here. And there's our choo-choo, so we're going to run in on target. Radar altimeter says we're at about 800 feet. I don't believe that for a second. Yeah, there we go. It's changing. Okay, and I think we've got the perfect lineup here, folks. So here we go. Let's make this happen. Alright. Up, a little too far down the line. Let me swing back to the left. Right there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on, baby. Hold it together. Hold it together. Woo! Gotta love it. And we're still taking hits here. Wow, I love the little flak and muzzle flash effects. That also is freeware, by the way. You can download that from, I forget the name of the site. If I find out, I'll put it in the link below, in the description below. Alright, and you know what? That would make an awesome title shot right there. So right there, this is our title shot. You've probably already seen it before you watch this video, but look at that. That is so sweet. Alright, we are almost done here. I want to do a couple more runs. Let's see if we can swing around. Get some full pedal here. Okay, there is choo-choo. Alright, choo-choo. Time to go bye-bye. Provided I can ever straighten up. Oh, come on. Give me a shot. There we go. Woo! Okay, that's good enough for me. That is good enough for me. Alright, we'll swing around to the left. I'm probably going to want to go over one of these hills here. So yeah, let's see if we can make something happen here. Right now I've got my collective almost to full. I'm trying to really manage my speed and altitude here. Okay, I select this ridge to go over, and we are out of here. Sayonara, NBA. Thanks for the fun. Okay, so, last thing on the agenda. We've got to head home. Now, I don't believe that we should run into any hostile areas like we did on the way in, but just to be on the safe side, I know a quick path just to the south of that large mountain range there that will get us where we need to go. All I need to do is find the lake that's just south of Vin. And there it is. Hey, well, that was easier than I thought. Alright, so yes, I want to overfly this lake, and then you see the mountain range dead ahead. I want to go to the right of that. That will take us directly to sea. And that should actually be just to the south of where I left the landing ship. Alright, so, not a bad bit of attacking, if I should say so myself. I mean, obviously, with it being FSX, I can't give you like the full Monty like I would with DCS World, but for what it is, it really showcases, number one, what the Huey Cobra was capable of, or in this case, the Super Cobra. Number two, what Captain Sim weapon will do. And number three, the flight dynamics with HDR. And I better watch my speed. We're getting close to 170 knots there, so let me just slow down just a touch. Now, if you look back there over towards Vin, you'll see they're still throwing AAA all over the damn place. So long, suckers! I'm just gonna head this way now. Man, I was never so glad to see the Gulf of Tonkin in all my life, even virtually. Although I will say that I honestly would love to visit Vietnam as a tourist. I wonder how many people actually do that. If you've ever been to Vietnam in modern times, sound off in the comments. I would be very interested in hearing your stories about what the country is like now. As for the Cobra itself, well, there's not much more that I can really tell you about it. I mean, you know it's a beast. You know it was the backbone of the U.S. Army, and also it is now the backbone of the U.S. Marines. Since Vietnam, it's been deployed for Operation Urgent Fury, which was the invasion of Grenada in 1983, flying close support and helicopter escort missions. And hang on a second here, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can turn on some of these lights now that we're in the clear. Because it would be nice for the Tarawa to be able to see me on the way in, since I'm a singleton. Alright, let's see. Can I reach these buttons without falling out of the sky? There we go, okay. And let's see what that looks like from the outside in a second here. Oh, look at that! Wow, that was quick. We reached the shore already. Very nice. Oh, wow. You know, I've never actually seen the lights on this model. Those suckers are bright. I might want to turn some of them back off. Alright, let's see here. We can turn the strobe off, I think. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad there. Still got that one huge tail light there. Let's see if we turn that off here. Okay. I do want my red beacon on, so yeah, we'll keep that on. And we'll probably also want to put our landing lights out as well. So we'll do that in a second here. And we are starting to drift. Okay, landing lights on. Oh, come on, baby. Stay still. Stay still. I hate recording with these angles. Alright, there we go. Landing lights are now on. So, as soon as I can stabilize myself, we'll head to the ship. Okay, so yeah, I started to say we went to Grenada with this sucker. We also used this helicopter in the U.S. invasion of Panama in 1989. And of course, this helicopter featured prominently in the Gulf War, along with the Apache, and that was 1990 to 1991. And we also did some humanitarian work, Operation Restore Hope in Somalia in 1993, which was most infamous for the movie Black Hawk Down, as well as the invasion of Haiti in 1994. Now, the Army retired this helicopter from service in March of 1999, offering them to NATO allies. However, it should be noted that the U.S. Army Golden Knights demonstration team still uses the Huey Cobra as part of their airshow act. So if you ever get a chance to see those guys, you could see this bird up close and personal, and let me tell you, it is a sight to behold. Okay, now that we are close to home, I'm going to go ahead and put everything to safe so that way we don't target any of our ships here. And let's do some fun stuff here. We want to land on the Tarawa, somewhere near the back, but I want to show off the model a little bit more. You can get this, by the way, from Sim Outhouse. This is freeware as well. And it is a very well-designed helicopter landing ship. The Sea King that you're seeing there, flying plane guard, that I actually got from the Enterprise, the USS Enterprise, that I had also purchased and downloaded. You've got all the various AI ships there. Those you can also get from Sim Outhouse. But look at this behemoth. Wow. I think this was originally supposed to be PAYWARE. It's supposed to have like the LCAC hovercraft that comes out the back and so on and so forth, but I haven't figured out how to use that yet, or even if it's actually modeled with this particular freeware version. All I know is it is absolutely incredible, and you get like 5 or 6 of these landing ships that you can utilize with AI carriers and put in your fleet. We're using the Tarawa today, but you've seen the Saipan before in my Phantom episode, and I'm probably going to be doing some more helo episodes coming up in the near future, so you'll be seeing this ship and its little fleet at another time. Alright, now that we are at the stern of the ship, let's see if I can bring this sucker home, and I'll show you how they're supposed to land. Now, generally what they do is they try to get off to the port side of the ship where we are right now, and then slide to the right and land right in the center of those white lines. However, because I'm using HTR and I'm still a relative newbie, I'm gonna land wherever this thing ends up landing. Alright, so right about here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, hold on. Alright, you know what? This will have to do. This is as good as it gets, folks. But we are down, and this has been the Huey Cobra. Technically the Super Cobra, but you'll have to forgive me for the artistic license there. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see others. And this has been BelGeode flying Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition, Vietnam. Ciao!